Hello, everybody. Welcome to another YouTube interview. Same questions, but different answers. Okay, everyone, we are here with Angelarts,
Hi, everybody.
another amazing YouTuber. Okay, you ready, sir?
Where's the amazing YouTuber? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Where could he be?
Oh, wait, I'm looking at him right now. Patrick, there you are.
Thank you, sir.
There you are.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do this. I'm excited. Thank
Okay.
you for having me here, by the way.
You're welcome, sir. It's an honor.
The honor's all mine.
When did you first get into gaming?
Oh gosh, a long time ago. My very first gaming system was back in the day when they had the Atari. So like the original Atari, and I think Miss Pac-Man was the very first video game that I ever played, followed by Space Invaders and Centipede. I didn't go all the way back to Pong. I'm not that old, but I think I started with Miss Pac-Man before I did regular Pac-Man. And when I started playing regular Pac-Man, I was upset that you didn't get to eat all of the awesome fruits and cherries and strawberries and such. That was my favorite part about Miss Pac-Man. But no, yeah. So I started off with an Atari, and then when the Nintendo hit, like the original NES system came out, that was when I guess I became like a full-on gamer, and mostly because I think by that point I had proven to my parents that I was a good enough student that I wasn't going to let video games get in the way of my classes, so they actually let me play the NES more often than I did with the Atari, because the Atari, they kind of made it, alright, you can only play this for like 30 minutes at a time, and my parents are Asian, so you have to understand. But yeah, back in the day, back in the early 80s, which makes me very old.
You don't look that old, sir.
Again, thank you. I appreciate that, thank you.
Okay, why did you start YouTube?
So the reason why I started YouTube, it had nothing to do with Let's Plays, because when I created my YouTube channel, I didn't even know that Let's Plays were a thing. It wasn't until 8 years later, after I made the YouTube channel, did I discover Let's Plays for the first time. No, the reason why I got into YouTube at first was because in college, I started getting into films and like making amateur films. So, and these were really low budget, nothing amazing. But I like doing spoofs for people just to entertain my friends. Not only the people that I showed the spoofs to, but the people who actually acted in them. So I did a spoof on The Lord of the Rings back in the day, followed by a spoof on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
Oh, I
followed
love
by a
the Mighty
spoof.
Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah. I'm still kind of a fan of the Power Rangers to this day. I also did a spoof on the X-Men, and all of these videos, I believe, are still on my channel. So I wanted to kind of share these to my friends. I wasn't even really planning on sharing them to the public, but I wanted to keep the videos somewhere that my friends could go to see the videos. So, so I started the channel, but I had to figure out what to call the channel. So everybody calls me Hark, but my real name is actually not Hark. My real name is Harold, Harold. And so what happened was in high school, people would keep singing "Hark the Herald Angels Sing" like during Christmas time, because I like to sing, and so they always called me the Herald Angel, or Hark, who goes there? Hark, the Herald Angel sings. And Hark ended up kind of becoming my nickname after that. And then once I got into college, I actually started telling people and introduce myself as Hark. So even professionally, like my coworkers all call me Hark from that point on. So I sort of did a play on the angel thing, the Hark Angel thing, and I wanted it to sound like a studio. So that's why I thought, well, Angelarts kind of falls off the tongue, so why don't we just do Angelarts? So originally, Angelarts was just a place for me to keep my amateur videos just to show my friends that I actually knew. And then 7 years later, I started noticing these things on YouTube called Let's Plays. I have to give a shout out to Togoff and Shali, because those are the two YouTubers back in the day that introduced me to Let's Plays, and I was hooked. And then eventually I thought, hey, I kind of want to do some of this myself. I don't know if I would succeed or fail, but I want to at least give it a try, and I already have a YouTube channel, and I didn't want to make a new YouTube channel, so I just kept my original Angelarts channel and just started doing Let's Plays on the same channel.
Let's Plays really have been getting popular nowadays, especially with the newer games coming out that Sony's been making. Like with Final Fantasy 15, for example, like the video I commented on of yours earlier. Yes.
That is my first attempt at using the I guess PlayStation 4's recording system to actually record instead of having to use a video. Right, instead of having to use a capture card, which is a pain in the butt. So, a lot more convenient now. They definitely did a really good job of making it easier for Let's Players or people who just want to stream their games. It made it a lot easier for people to record them and to broadcast them.
And one quick question that's not about the interview. Did you have any issues trying to upload your Final Fantasy videos from PS4 to YouTube?
All the time. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but half the time when I try to upload my videos from my PS4 to YouTube, I get some sort of really funky error, and I haven't quite figured out the surefire way to fix it. Like, I've tried everything from logging out of YouTube on my PS4 and logging back in. I tried restarting my machine. I tried going into my notifications and deleting all the uploads. Like, I did so much Google searching trying to figure out how to fix it, and there was never a surefire way of fixing it. Like, sometimes this way worked and sometimes it didn't, and sometimes it just, like, it would be not working for me one day, and then the next morning I would try it again and it would just magically work. I don't know. I do not know what the deal is with that.
The reason why I asked, because whenever I tried to upload, it only happened with Final Fantasy 15. Every time I tried, it just either made me have to keep linking my YouTube account with my PlayStation, or it just automatically, like, failed to upload.
Yes. All of that, yes. That's the exact same problem I'm having. I haven't figured out how to fix that, or how to make it more consistent.
Okie dokie.
It is the bane of my... Yes, it's been a pain in the butt with that particular LP, because... yeah.
Yeah. Was it hard trying to figure out what kind of content you wanted for your channel?
Not really, because there wasn't really any pressure when I started. I wasn't really, like, I knew that people like PewDiePie and Markiplier existed, but I was not even going to try to be as popular as them. I just wanted to try contributing something to the Let's Play community that I guess wasn't really there. So I'm very big on story, for example, and when I started, there were a lot of people who played a lot of, Call of Duty Let's Plays and things like that, which is perfectly fine if that's what you did, but I wanted to have a channel that did Let's Plays from a more analytical standpoint, someone who actually tried to spend time talking and discussing intellectually about the content in the games, because I think that this is more of a thing in years prior, but I think that in the past, people didn't always take video games seriously, especially the older generations who just, growing up, I mean, you and I growing up, I think that now that we're becoming adults, that's going to change. But back in the day, a lot of adults didn't really understand they didn't really give video games that much of a chance, or didn't really give them that much credit. And I know back in the 80s or early 90s, it was unusual for someone over 30, for example, to be playing video games. Like, that was just not something that you did. So I wanted to try to make a channel that showed the intellectual side of video games, something just to make it more, just to give them a little bit more seriousness, and hopefully I've helped to do that, because I think that the gaming industry has changed and evolved so much over the last several years, and we have grown up with it, and we are continuing to grow up with it.
Yeah, and another thing, games have definitely been progressing in like their graphics and the way they're played and all.
Exactly. A lot more complicated, a lot more diverse, and a lot more universally accepted, I think.
What my favorite YouTuber that I interviewed, he also said lately lots of games have been getting darker. Like, a lot of games have been made has just been dark. Like, dark storylines and stuff like that. Although I agree with him and I've noticed.
Yeah, because, again, within the last 10, 20 years, people are realizing video games, like I said, are not just for kids anymore.
Nope.
That's why they started putting maturity ratings on video games, because, some games are a lot more appropriate for mature audiences, and that definitely was not the case back in the day of Pac-Man. So, if you look back in history, I think this started back in the Sega Genesis Super Nintendo time when Mortal Kombat came out, and, a lot of people were up in arms about the violence in Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, and I think that was one of the things that spurred on games starting to shift into darker territory, and people, again, realizing adults like video games now too, and so we kind of need to be able to cater to adults who may appreciate more of the mature themes in video games, whether it's storytelling or other concepts of it.
I've actually met some people on PlayStation Home who are like in their 60s who's playing video games.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that video games in general have become a lot more prevalent, not just through consoles and not just through PCs, but through smartphones and iPads and things like that. I think a lot of people who used to not be gamers became gamers once Angry Birds came out, once Bejeweled came out, and people can just play them on their phones while they're waiting for whatever they're waiting for. So I think within the last 5-10 years, a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork who wouldn't necessarily have considered them gamers are becoming gamers.
Yeah. Okay. Who or what inspired you to become a YouTuber?
Well, like I said, the first two YouTubers that I really started watching, the first one was named Togoff. A lot of his YouTube videos were about the same games that I enjoyed, which were role-playing games like Dragon Age Origins, BioWare games of that nature. I really liked his style. He was a very relatable person. He didn't seem fake to me, which was really important. I didn't want to have like some sort of game showy host kind of person. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you do have that kind of persona, but I like YouTubers who I can relate to and who I can connect with. And Shali was a female YouTuber, and I loved the fact that she was a female gamer, because I think that we should have more female gamers in general, and I'm glad that more and more of them are coming in, because, again, when I was a little kid, it was a relatively male-dominated interest, at least when I was young, back in the 80s, for example, or at least it appeared so. So it was really refreshing to see her perspective on Mass Effect. Was, again, the very first Let's Play that I saw of hers, and I don't know, they just made it seem so easy. Not that it is easy.
Yeah,
but
maybe it isn't really as easy as it looks.
It's not as easy as it looks, but they made it seem approachable enough that I felt comfortable to try it. And so I do have to thank those two for being the ones that sort of inspired me to at least give it a shot. And I've been enjoying it ever since. So.
Yeah, what do you like to see in a YouTuber? Like the way they act, or the kind of games they play?
Yeah, so so yeah, a lot of it is the games that they play. It has to be a game. It has to be types of games that, again, I tend to appreciate. For example, role-playing games are huge for me. Ones that
I
tell
love
a very
you
good
just
story.
hearing you say that. I'm a huge RPG fan. JRPG fan.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter. I love that stuff. But beyond that, once you have a set of games that I enjoy, like I said, I look for a personality that I can sort of relate to and someone that I can sort of connect with. There are tons and tons of YouTubers out there, Let's Players out there, and they come in all different shapes and sizes and personalities. Some of them are really loud, some of them are really quiet, some of them are like, hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? And they're very animated and bubbly. And I know that for most people, the more animated or happy or whatever you are, the more you might enjoy them. For me, I kind of prefer people that are a little bit more mellow, because I feel, for me personally, I feel like you can easily come off as someone who is performing on a stage if it's a little too much. And again, I'm not saying that that's wrong, because there are plenty of really successful YouTubers who have hundreds and thousands and millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
Let me give an example. Jacksepticeye. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him.
Yeah,
I was
like
one of the people. I was one of the few viewers who started watching Jacksepticeye when he had very, very, very few subscribers. He's super animated. He's such a lovable kind of guy, and he's super fun. I love him, and I really enjoy what he does, and I think that is how he is in real life. Maybe he tunes it up a little bit when he's recording himself, but I think, he's not being, I don't think he's being fake. I think he's still being genuinely who he is. But that sort of persona, I can only take in doses. So I can't watch his videos like back to back, because I can only take that much energy all at once. It's a little overwhelming for me. So I don't really watch his videos as much, but I still subscribe to him because I want to support him. But he's not the kind of Let's Player that I enjoy. I can sit down and watch like multiple videos back to back.
Yeah.
So I like Let's Players that are more laid back, that are more mellow. Someone that I feel like I can, when I'm watching them, I feel like I'm sitting in their living room, chilling with them, watching a video. I would love to hang out with Jacksepticeye, but at some point, I would turn to him and say, "Okay, Jack, you don't have to try so hard to entertain me. Just chill. Just
be yourself."
Cool. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying he's not being himself. I'm just saying, some YouTubers can be a little bit too overwhelming. Some YouTubers can seem a little bit too polished, if that makes sense. I kind of like YouTubers that behave like most of my friends that I hang out with in real life, if that makes sense.
What kind of video games do you like?
So other than RPGs, back in the day, I really loved platform games. I was big into Super Mario, of course. I enjoy adventure games like Zelda and Link. I enjoy the Pokemon games. But more and more as of late, I've been more interested in playing heavy RPGs as much as possible, just because I feel like there's more that I can talk about and there's more I can comment on. So it's not so much that I don't enjoy platform games as much. It's just if I were to record myself playing them or let's play them, I don't think I'd have very much to talk about. There isn't enough substance in there for me to really commentate on. Whereas if I had a game that was very rich in story, which is things like, BioWare games or Final Fantasy games, the Telltale games, for example, is another great example. I love the Telltale games. Anything the Telltale makes since The Walking Dead Season 1 has been gold for me. So I love those types of games. The games that I don't particularly like, and I know that my viewers know this, who followed me for very long, is I don't like scary games. So I know that they're very popular, but I'm not going to play a game like Five Nights at Freddy's because it's popular.
Or Outlast.
Yeah, because I don't enjoy them. I did one time do a Let's Play of Slender when it first came out back in the day, just once. And I know that a lot of my viewers were very entertained by it because I was scared out of my wits, and I think I only lasted like 8 minutes. I couldn't get past 8 minutes of gameplay. I had to stop. But I'm glad it was fun for the viewers, but it wasn't fun for me. Like, if I was being completely honest, I was not having fun. It just wasn't something I enjoyed doing. And so I want to do stuff on my YouTube that I actually enjoy, and maybe once in a blue moon I'll do something that I hate just so that my viewers get a little bit of entertainment out of that, because I know that is entertaining, but I want that to be exception and not a rule.
Well, yeah, the Twitch streamer that I interviewed said that you should, like, make videos and stream what you want.
Yeah. I think that there are a lot of YouTubers who like to YouTube or like to LP games because it's popular or because they think it's going to get them a lot of views. And again, I have nothing against that if that's what people want to do. If your goal is to try to amass as many subscribers as possible, that's just what you do. You figure out what's hot, and you figure out what's popular, and you figure out what gets a lot of hits and got lots of views. And if your goal is to get a lot of subscribers, then yeah, that's what you should be doing. I don't have that mindset. I don't really worry too much about. Yeah, I do what I enjoy doing, and I feel like if I play a game that I actually enjoy, then the quality of my video is a whole lot better than if I was playing a game that I wasn't enjoying. Because then it just becomes a chore. Like, this is meant to be a hobby, this is meant to be something fun. Once it becomes more of a job, and by job I mean, doing something just because it's a means to an end, in this case a means to end of getting more and more subscribers, that just doesn't work for me personally.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to starter YouTubers?
Well, it depends. Like, what is a starter I'd ask a starter YouTuber what they want first. If they want to get as many subscribers, if they want to be the next PewDiePie, if they want to be super popular, my answer and my advice is going to be a heck of a lot different than somebody who says I want something else. So for me to answer that question, I would first have to ask the person, what do you want out of your channel? If you want out of your channel what I want out of my channel, and that is I want to do something because I think it's fun, and I want to be able to build a good community, and I want to be able to, not only entertain myself, but entertain other people and make them happy. Again, my advice for that person would be totally different from the people who are just trying to get more subscribers. So to answer your question, other than what we've already talked about, do stuff that you want to do. It sounds cliche. Try to be yourself, but try to be yourself, but also pay attention to aspects of other YouTubers that you enjoy. Figure out what they do that you really like and that you really value, and see if there's a way to incorporate that with your videos. I'm not saying that you have to copy what other YouTubers are doing. I'm not saying you have to be someone that you're not. I'm just saying there's always ways that you can improve how you do this. And if there are things that other YouTubers do, like habits that they do, or that you can incorporate for yourself and do it in your way, incorporate it in your way so that it's still you, but you're just gaining inspiration from other YouTubers that you like, and you want to emulate the things that other YouTubers do, but still do it in a way that is you, do that. I always, like, for example, for me, whenever I post a video on my channel, my criteria is, if I was not me, if I was somebody else and I was watching my videos, would I be entertained by this? If the answer is no, what's wrong with it and how can I fix it? So I never put up a video up unless I feel like if I was taking myself away from this and seeing it as if I was someone looking at my channel for the first time and watching my videos, is this something I would enjoy? Is the quality of the video good enough I would enjoy it? If the answer is yes, awesome. If the answer is no, what do I need to do to improve upon that? And that's sort of what I use as a rule of thumb.
Okay. What plans do you have for the future on YouTube?
Gosh, there's a ton of things that I would like to do more of. Live streaming was something that I just started doing last year. I don't want to make... There are good and bad things about live streaming. And with live streaming, the good thing is obviously I can interact more with the community and get to know people more.
Yes.
One of my mottos that I've always said is that I want to see my viewers as people and not as numbers. That's been my motto. They need to be viewers, they need to be people, not numbers. And so one of the things that I've tried to do is to try to interact with them more on my live streams. But I don't want all of my videos to be live streams because sometimes live streaming can be very tiring, and I feel that it's harder for me to come up with things because there are a lot of things during live streaming that can be distracting. So while I do want to do more of them, I don't want to have that be the predominant thing in my channel. The other thing that I wanted to do is just branch out and try to continue on other projects that I've done in the past, like random things that I've done in the past. Is I've done cooking videos because I love cooking. I'm a big foodie. People have been asking me when I'm making my next cooking video, and I've been telling them I haven't been able to make one recently because I just haven't had the time. So it'd be really, really cool to do that. On a more personal level, I am interested in starting a family soon, like actually having kids. And I thought it would be really cool to sort of start vlogging that experience, becoming a dad for the very first time, and all of the ins and outs and ups and downs, especially as someone who is an LGBT dad, because I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to be one of two dads, and kind of trying to... I think a lot of people can relate or might find my experience becoming a new dad, what challenges there are involved in that. Like, people might get some value out of that in some sort of a vlog, or at least get some interesting insight out of it. So,
and I do wish you luck on becoming a father.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. Are you happy with where you're at on YouTube? Do you feel like you've accomplished anything?
Yeah, very much so. You know, I tried. I say that again, that I don't really stress over how many subscribers I have, but that doesn't mean that I'm not appreciative whenever I make a milestone. So I think I'm halfway through 8,000 right now, and I'm going into 9,000. I mean, I was perfectly happy when I had 1,000. I was perfectly happy when I had 500. So the fact that I'm still growing is really fun. I like the numbers that I am at right now, just because the number of viewers I have are very manageable. I actually have time to comment on, like, respond to people's comments every once in a while. I actually, when I'm on live streams, I don't have, you know, if you're looking at the chats on my live stream, it's not going like this, so I can't see what everybody is saying. So I can actually read what everybody is saying, and I can actually respond to what everybody is saying. If I had as many viewers as, say, Jacksepticeye did, then I wouldn't be able to do that. So I like how manageable my numbers is right now. I feel that, you know, if I got an increasingly exponentially large audience, it would just be really hard for me to keep up with that. And that's why I'm very appreciative of what I have right now, and I don't necessarily need things to change all that much if it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's all the questions for the interview, but with my past few interviews, I asked them questions that's unrelated, just for my viewers and also their viewers to get to know them a little more.
Sure.
Do you watch any anime?
So, I used to back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean in the 90s. And it's not because I don't like anime, it's just because I haven't been able to watch anything, like not TV, not movies as much as I wanted to, not Netflix as much as I wanted to. So, in general, I haven't really been able to watch anything, period. Back in the day, of course, I watched Pokemon. Of course, I watched, I think a little bit of Digimon too, but I don't think that really counts. I was a big fan of Sailor Moon back in the day. I am proud to say that because I got into Sailor Moon before it even came into the U.S. because while I was in the Philippines, my cousins, who are all male, were like crazy over Sailor Moon and got me hooked in it too. And then a year later, it came into the U.S., and eventually became everybody's, essentially everybody's, what is it called? Intro drug into anime. I forgot what they refer that as. Didn't really watch much Dragon Ball Z. I did watch a lot of Ranma 1/2. I enjoyed Death Note. I watched Ghost in the Shell. So there are a few things back in the day. Recently, though, somebody started getting me to watch Yuri on Ice. I think is a newer anime. So that's really the only recent anime I've seen recently, besides the obvious Sailor Moon Crystal, because nostalgia. So.
And yeah, the only animes I really prefer watching is animes with special powers, like for example, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Children Failed Knight, and recently an anime called Keijo.
Gotcha. I know like half of those names. The first few I did know.
Jeez,
yes.
You know, our interview's gotten up to over a half hour.
Yeah. Ask me whatever you want.
Okay, thanks for allowing me to interview you, dude.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
And I hope you all... I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I said, are those all the questions you wanted to ask me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. I hope you all out there enjoyed this interview. Go ahead and go subscribe to this man. He does some awesome playthroughs, makes some awesome videos. Okay, everybody.
Thank you also, Patrick, for the opportunity. This is super fun.
Yes, sir. It was awesome. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.